How are they different? Lots of coaching them than they maybe were with Jeff.
I think defensively they're doing some things that may be a little different. Some pressing, some zones, traps, and things like that. Offensively maybe, some differences, but not enough to really. And they've got a few guys that are injured, but I think they've been dealing with injuries all year. I think they play hard, they get after it.
Their defensive numbers are up in the sense of interest. Did you credit that maybe to switch and scheme, or?
It's hard to say. I think there's an energy and an aggressiveness that's probably it's a big part of defending, and I think he's doing a good job, and they're working.
Two general questions. One for the German media about Dennis, and one for the Swiss media about Thabo. Whatever you like to address. I don't have a very specific question. Where are we with these two players in your team?
Yeah, Dennis is doing a great job. His growth and development has been a huge part of our success, both last year and this year. He has a big impact on the game on both ends of the court. Just fortunate to have such a good young point guard. And with Thabo, I think his leadership and his competitiveness and defensive kind of IQ and aggressiveness with the second unit has really been a big part of, I think changing some games. We've played better. I think the bench has been a big part of it. I think Tabo's offensively has given us, a lot of quality, shooting corner threes well. He just does a lot of things well. Tabo's a big part of what we do.
And no lingering issues with the injury?
No. I think, he's dealing with all of that well. Everybody has a little bit of stiffness and soreness this time of year, and, he's probably not any different, but he's been mostly healthy.
You touched on a little bit at the press conference today about telling the team how excited they were, but I wonder if there's more that you could share, just kind of what that process was like to spring something that on them, and did they have any input into what they wanted to see in a project like that?
Well, it's I think to finally really announce it and for it to be, to have a press conference like that and have some renderings of the outside, and it wasn't totally a spring on them. We've been talking about this for a long time, and it's been a priority for the players and all of us. But yesterday, we're so focused on the season. I think some of that stuff goes a little bit in the back, and to share that with them when it hadn't been something we'd been discussing or thinking about or talking about. It had that a little bit of element of a surprise and like, okay, this is great. And they will have some input on, what's important on the inside and the layout and, how it functions, and we want it to be efficient, and the players are our priority, and so to not at least engage them on some levels and hear what they think, I think would be unwise. So we will engage them. It hasn't really, to some degree it's happened, but I would say not in a significant ways yet.
Can you say anything? I know that you're partnering with Emory, and that's kind of been the trend the last decade or so of teams partnering with health organizations, but the partnership with P3 is maybe a little bit unique. How did that idea come about? Can you say anything on sort of the generation of that idea?
Yeah, well, I think on both. On the first one, I think we're hoping and thinking that our partnership with Emory is going to be maybe a little different or a little unique and more integrated, more of where our players are feeling service at a high level on a day-to-day basis, on a really integrated basis. And I'm sure everybody is probably trying for something similar, so I don't really know how their organizations are doing it. But on P3, the idea, it's Marcus Elliott and his group. We've been getting to know each other for the last, I don't know how many years, and players have been going there, and players have been improving and getting better, and it's such a mantra for, not just myself, but our entire organization. How can we get our players better? And P3 is one of those places where players go and they get better. And so the idea of, having them and having some kind of an intimate relationship and a partnership where guys are getting better, they're being tested, they're learning more about themselves, we're all learning more, and how can we improve and make, you know, the player better, the organization better. It's just, it seems like a great opportunity, and there's just a lot of respect for Marcus and P3 to partner with them and have them in our building, in our home is, I think, something that's going to make it, you know, I think even better than we probably early anticipated.